Hey guys, welcome to TCT Time!
Yay!
We're back and we've got Juri.
Hello.
And Chris, who has not been here for a very long time. Where have you been?
Okairi.
I've been not high-fiving Shiori.
Many times.
we have an ongoing joke on TC Play that basically whenever Shiori tries to give us a high five, someone always just ignores, but not meaning to. It's been 2 videos in a row though. Yeah.
That's terrible. But of course he also has Shiori. Yay! So yes, we have a very good group, and we have a lot of halfies today. We do. Juri, you're also a halfie.
So des.
So des.
Nano.
Korean, half Japanese.
Ooh.
Born where?
Born in Tokyo.
Raised where?
Raised in China and the US. Yes, and Japan.
Oh.
Oh wow! You grew up in China too.
Yeah.
I
This
didn't know that. Very international.
I don't know why.
I like it. It's a very international des. And Chris too. You're not actually a halfie. You're a fake halfie.
Don't put
He's
fake.
a fake
huh?
halfie.
I'm better than the halves, alright? I'm more complicated, okay? I'm 3/4 Japanese.
Yes.
A quarter Ukrainian. Born in London.
Oh.
Raised in LA.
Is this a competition?
Yes. Because actually, you and I are actually, I think, the most international people in the company. We have the most we have the most random countries going on.
We do have random countries.
Yeah, I've got England, Japan, Ukraine,
Yeah.
and America.
Mhm.
You have Korea. Actually, you have more, huh? Korea, Japan, America, China.
No,
It's not the
Same.
same.
The same.
We have 4 and 4. How about you?
I am not as international. I am half Japanese, half Canadian, but with Scottish roots, and I was born in Canada.
She had to throw
And lived in-
Scottish roots.
No, the reason
It's not a competition.
The reason why
FYI.
the reason why I have to specify this is because everyone is like, you can't be half Canadian because it's a nationality. Like you're born, if you're born in Canada, you automatically have that citizenship, so you
Right,
become
right.
Canadian. You can't be half Canadian. But the reason why I say that is because I am half Japanese and my dad is Canadian by blood as well. But he is Caucasian Canadian, so the roots are from Scotland.
Yeah.
So it's difficult to explain, and people always nitpick about it. So Scottish Canadian,
Us
born and
Americans
raised in
wouldn't
Canada.
know. We don't pay attention to Canada. The Maple Leafs.
It would be the
I'm
same.
nice. Sorry.
It would be the
Sorry.
same in America too.
That's true.
You can't say I'm half. You can't. People do say it, but you can't really say I'm half American because it's a nationality,
Yeah.
not a race.
Yeah. That's true.
People could argue about that too, but let's not worry about that too much.
Yeah.
So we're relatively international, although I'm mostly Canadian, but I've lived in Japan for 9 years. And
Pure Japanese.
pure Japanese.
My husband is foreigner. Yes, from
Like-
Australia.
So our babies will be half.
True.
Yay!
Yay!
Little giant baby.
Little giant baby.
She's speaking for her babies on her behalf. Her future babies.
Yeah.
And then, did you ever live in another country before?
Never ever.
Never ever.
Never ever.
Never ever.
Oh wow! So you represent Japan,
Pure.
local Japan.
So you can tell us a lot about Japanese
The Japanese,
mindset.
the Japanese
fair
perspective.
It's funny when Japanese people are 100% Japanese, they like to say, I'm pure Japanese. Have you ever seen that? I'm pure American. That's so weird, right?
Well, it's because it can be a thing in Japan. You could be pure Japanese, you know?
I think.
No, but like they always put that adjective. It's always the
That's
same adjective.
true.
It's always pure Japanese.
In Japanese, you'd say Jun.
Yeah.
Which
Jun
means that
Nihonjin.
we already can start our conversation, you know. We are talking about the
Yeah.
citizen about
Yeah.
Naomi Osaka. Basically,
Yes.
I think I am pure Japanese, but people think Naomi Osaka is not. But who is Naomi Osaka?
Naomi Osaka, she is the first ever Japanese player to win the Grand Slam singles tournament. I memorized that, a little bit of information. Give me a gold star.
Yeah,
Thank you. But yes, she is half Japanese and half Haitian. And she was born in Japan, but she grew up in the US since she was 3 years old, I think. So identity-wise, I guess she'd be more American.
Yeah.
But she is playing for the Japanese tennis team. or representing Japanese tennis.
Yeah.
So there's been a little bit of discussion in Japan, like, is she Japanese enough to do that? Is she really Japanese? And now that she's turning 22, there's also discussion, like, which citizenship will she choose? Because in Japan, you're required to give up your dual citizenship by the age of 22. So yeah, it's a big discussion. Is she going to choose the American citizenship, which she has more relationship with, and she speaks the language better, or will she continue to represent Japan and just give up the U.S. citizenship?
Wouldn't it be funny if she actually chooses American? Technically, will she still be the first Japanese player in singles to win a Grand Slam?
Will it change?
Or are they going to revoke that I don't know, that record or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't think you can go back and revoke that, can you? Like, it's what's happened has already happened. She was allowed to have dual citizenship at the time, and she was playing for them at the time.
I'm curious.
I thought they already approved, no? Approved she became the dual citizen.
She was already dual citizen, but she was considered the first ever Japanese person to win
That's what I mean,
the singles.
Does she still get that title? After 22.
Ooh, that's interesting. Like, this is kind of new territory for Japan because Japan is largely a homogeneous society, so most people are like Shiori.
Pure.
Like
Japanese.
I said.
But even if you say pure, like, you're kind of mixed without knowing it too. Like, there's people, if you do a DNA test.
I think I most likely having that because my parents are from Okinawa, and then everyone is from Okinawa. Then Okinawa is the island, has the very thick eyebrow and everything thick. Like, I don't know why, but everyone thinks I'm like foreigner all the time. Asakusa, everywhere.
Yeah.
If I go to the touristy place, they always tell me no photo.
Really?
So funny.
Last time I went to the Ibaraki trip, Chris already made a video about the Sakura Hanami tour, the Tokyo Creative one. The printing company thought I'm Thai.
Oh, really?
And I was so surprised. So maybe I have high chance. So I want to try the DNA.
Yeah,
someday.
that would be very cool to try.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I've heard some stories where some people who are very proud of being like pure blood, I guess they do the DNA test and they realize that they're not, like, they're actually like Korean or like things like that, or like Chinese
or Asian.
Yeah, and then it just blows their mind.
Yeah.
And
Like, whenever you guys talk about that, those words, does Harry Potter not always come up?
Wait, why?
Mudblood?
Ah,
You're a mudblood.
No, I'm getting those flashbacks like all the time. All I think about is like
Harry
Hermione
Potter.
Granger. Like, literally, that's all I'm thinking about right now.
She's crying. She's like, he called me a mudblood.
Sorry.
And Harry's like, what's a mudblood?
Kind of diverting from the conversation. Sorry, just Harry Potter keeps popping up in my head.
No, some people jokingly have called me that before too. Just
What?
being half Japanese, you're mixed race.
Yeah.
We are mudbloods.
Yeah.
But we
Mudbloods
have
and proud.
quite semi thinking. Japanese have nothing, very.
They're a little bit narrow-minded.
Yeah, because I call myself pure, which means it's very rare case to be mixed. Eh? Is that correct? To be half.
Yeah.
Because one thing I noticed the huge difference between you guys and our culture is I always ask if I see foreigner, where are you from?
Right.
But you guys don't ask each other. Shouldn't be the first question sometimes, right? Because it's atarimae. It's very natural. Your next person is from somewhere,
Right.
other country.
Right,
But
right.
in Japan, you always see if I see the foreigner, she must be from somewhere. Oh, her Japanese sound very 新しい言葉っていうの?
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't sound native.
Yeah, so maybe she must be half とか.
No, that's why I think I talked about that somewhere. But I was saying that before coming to Japan, I never ever used the word foreigner ever.
Yeah,
my whole life.
that's a good
That's
point.
So like the word gaikokujin, right? Like it translates to foreigner. It was kind of weird when I first learned the word because when you first see it, you're like, well, I know what the word means, obviously, but I never used this word before.
Right.
And then when you come to Japan, that's when you first realize that, oh wow, Japanese people use it on a daily basis,
Yes.
right? Because like, oh, you
Yes.
must be
No
gaijin,
one,
gaijin.
like everyone who's outside of the Japanese race. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
外国人.
Yeah.
So it's so weird though. Like, did you? Oh, did you feel that way from America? Oh, because you were raised more in Japan, or
In Japan also, like half.
so like for
half.
you, was it more normal?
Well, the thing is, in the U.S., I also had this experience where people don't see me as a U.S. American.
Right.
So people would ask me, "Where are you from? Where are you originally from?" And
Did people say that to you? in the
Yeah.
US? Oh,
Wait,
wow.
why?
because I don't.
Was your English strange, or did you dress like a Japanese
It's
person?
because I'm Asian.
Yeah.
And like people assume that
Oh really?
Yeah. I
No,
had
they
that
assumed that I was Asian too. I mean,
Really?
they just said, oh, you're Asian, but they don't care where you're from.
Really?
They maybe it's a generational gap, huh?
Maybe.
Or how about
No, I
Because we're from the same area in
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
but like, I always got like, oh, you're Asian.
Yeah.
Like they didn't say I'm not. They never said like you're not American. They just said, oh, you're the Asian boy.
Yeah.
But they didn't care Japanese, Korean, Thai. They didn't care. They just said, oh, you're Asian. They just group us all together.
Do you think
Some
the
people
name
do ask though.
name matters? Watanabe, your family
Oh,
name?
true, huh?
Oh.
Well, these questions I usually get when I first meet the person.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Watanabe.
Watanabe, Watanabe.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Maybe did they hear your first name, like Juri, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, that's not an American name, and like, where are you from? Maybe.
Because it's with
I
an
don't
L
know.
usually, right? Not an R.
But I guess people got confused because I don't have too much of an accent in my English.
You have
Yeah.
0, I would say.
You don't have. Yeah. I mean,
When I get mad or something, sometimes my accent gets really
Oh, really?
weird when I
Oh.
speak.
Really?
I don't get mad that often though, just saying.
yeah, she's angry a lot. She's always. Just kidding.
But yeah, I mean, I think outside of Japan, there's also that kind of experiences
Okay.
too.
Yeah.
But Japan does seem like there's a lot of
Yeah, all the
those
time.
kind of things because it is largely a homogeneous country. Yeah.
So when I see the Naomi Osaka, we were like, wow, the Japanese
Yeah.
citizenship, the strong woman
Yeah.
finally won
Yeah.
the really big something we usually Asian couldn't achieve, right?
Right,
so we are
right.
like, yeah, Japanese, go,
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Oh, we are so proud of she has the Japanese blood, I think.
Yeah.
So that's our mindset.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we なんか take the credit basically because she won the something we couldn't,
Yeah.
Asian couldn't. So yeah, みたいな.
Yeah.
So
It's true.
That's an interesting question, actually. I'm curious. What Olympic country do you root for?
oh yeah, yeah.
Ah! Oh
Because
my god.
it's kind of weird because actually in all like those Olympics or the World Cup, I almost never root for America.
I always root
What?
for Japan.
I always root for Japan.
Yeah.
Actually.
Why? Really?
Yeah.
But I know I'm really American. I think it's because like typically, not all the time, but
Yeah.
typically Japan's like an underdog, and it's always like that the cool story. And then for some reason like my like deep roots are obviously more
The
Japanese.
3/4
right?
Japanese comes
Well, because
out.
I'm technically more Japanese, so like
Yeah.
my roots of the roots, I'm like, yeah, my ancestors. Keep going.
That's actually
You know?
such a good question.
It's really
So
weird.
What do you root for when you during the Olympics?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're kind of more
I think
like how strong is your Korean side?
I think my Japanese side is stronger because I've lived here. I've never lived in Korea. As much as I love Korea, I speak the language, my mother's Korean, all that. But I definitely do root for Japan.
Oh yeah.
How about you?
Yeah.
I root for both. I mean, I'm really
No,
happy.
no, you can't.
So-
You can't root for both.
I
No,
am.
you can't. Japan, Canada are playing soccer against each other. No,
You
no.
said that you don't even root. You don't even bother rooting
No, no,
for
no.
the U.S.
No, I'm saying Japan and Canada are playing against each other in a soccer game. Who do you root for? That's the question.
In that situation, I think like honestly, I wouldn't care who won. It's like both situations. You're like, oh, yay,
I
cool.
think because じゃない maybe.
Like, what else are you
Different
supposed to feel? Like both countries equally represent me because
Alright.
because like I don't need to pick one.
I think that's
He's
exactly
got the sign. He's like, you
like
gotta pick
Naomi
one.
Osaka's
Position?
position right now.
Wednesday,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with like how you feel. I think that's just Shizuka's personality.
Okay.
she's very like I love both.
Well, that's
Which is a
true.
good thing.
But I would like like to hear
No,
what
they-
other people who have multiple citizenships
Yeah.
or cultures think too, because I
know.
think if they were facing off against each other, in my opinion, it's like, well, it's like win-win.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one team that represents you won and the
Yeah.
other lost, but like someone's gotta lose. So I
Yeah.
mean, either way, it's like cool. But I mean, the positive thing is that you can root for multiple teams if they're not playing against each other. Like, oh, in this tournament, like, oh, Canada did really well, awesome. Or like in this team, like Japan did great. It's like, yay. I think in my opinion, like you can't lose if you have multiple teams to root for. So that's my take on
It's
it.
a very Canadian way to say it, huh? We're all winners.
But do you guys feel the Japanese people see foreigner or halfu in Japan because Shizuka, everyone has the Japanese Japanese broker. So you guys feel sometimes be treated special because Naomi Osaka is a really really rare case that people like so.
Yeah.
Go because we wanna be international person all the time, but we are not. I think you guys can tell the huge difference.
Yeah.
Japanese people like being Japanese.
Yeah.
Even though we are trying to be international people, really it's hard to be. So
Yeah.
sometimes to see the Naomi Osaka kind of something achievable, なんていうの、すごい
Yeah.
person, we are like, wow, yeah, see, half Japanese みたいな。
I think the interesting thing about that is that to a certain extent, Japan loves half Japanese people when it's convenient for them. So, like,
super good point.
Yeah, like in
Yeah.
this case, she won the tournament and she's the first Japanese person ever. So now she can be Japanese and we want her.
Yeah.
But in other situations, it's kind of like, oh, but she's half like Haitian or half like she's American. She's in other situations she'd be the outsider. Like we don't totally accept her as Japanese, maybe because of how she looks, or just by not being fully Japanese.
Yeah.
So this is one of those cases where, oh, she won, so we'll take her. I think that happens a lot.
Well, it's the same
too.
thing with the Nagasaki, Miss Nagasaki
Miss World Japan,
Or-
actually, or no, Miss
Miss
Universe.
Yeah,
Miss
yeah, yeah.
Universe.
from Nagasaki.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ariana
She used to get
Miyamoto.
bullied when she
It was
was
the same-
little.
same thing,
yeah.
right?
That's
Yeah.
But that's
cool.
kind of interesting though, because she won it, but they still actually said she's not. That was the whole conversation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a different case because she wasn't representing the world yet. Like she didn't win the world title. So she's chosen as the representative of Japan.
Yeah.
So people still argue about, is she the best representative for Japan? She doesn't even look Japanese. She's half African American
Yeah.
and half Japanese. And I think she doesn't fit traditional Japanese beauty
But
standards.
same thing. I mean, Naomi Osaka is now representing Japanese girls tennis, technically, right? But now that's what I'm saying. Maybe Japan is slowly changing,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? Because
I
back
think
then was
so.
like 3 years ago,
Yeah.
something like
About
that.
3
And they're very,
years ago.
they're very against it, despite her representing Japan, looking not really Japanese. But now Naomi Osaka comes in, not really looking Japanese as well.
Yeah.
But actually, they're supportive,
Yeah.
But I think there's
or a
a
little bit more
difference-
supportive, right?
Right. It's true. Things are changing for sure, but I think
Yeah.
part of the difference is the fact that it's sports.
Yeah.
Japan, I
Oh, so
think,
the
could
beauty,
appreciate.
Oh, like the beauty is not so kind of the main part,
Right.
Or how you look is not the main part.
Like I think Japan, they still can do fine on an international
Sure.
playing field with a Japanese, like a very Japanese looking
Yeah.
Miss Universe Japan. But for the playing field, like until Naomi Osaka, no Japanese person had ever won the Grand Slam singles. So it kind of shows that maybe. Like this is something that they were the underdog in, they were struggling, and so in that sense they appreciate the
Right.
support.
Come on, man.
Yeah, and also now in the Olympics and things and other sports too, we have more half Japanese like athletes.
Yeah.
I can think of some people like
The
someone
sprinter.
Sunny Brown is one
Yeah.
of the
Oh, Sonny Brown, the
Yeah.
track, the sprinter.
yeah. So he's also half.
There's also a basketball player in the NBA draft, possibly. He might be the very first Japanese player
No way.
drafted. I forget what it was, drafted in the lottery, I think.
Wow,
I think
really?
it's half African American, half Japanese, I think.
Ooh,
So Japan's making waves on the
Yeah.
sports scene.
yeah.
Seriously though.
So I mean, it's a great thing for
Yeah, it's
Japan.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
we never, it's really, sorry. For me personally, I don't have many of her friends. So once I
1, 2, 3.
You have
yeah,
us.
now I have it. So it's interesting to talk to you guys to have the both side of perspective, just like the who you are going to cheer if it's some kind of play game とかなんか but なんか this Naomi Osaka case we of course we want to take some credit but at the same time we expect them to be like more Japanese.
Yeah.
You know, because なんか if Naomi Osaka has the Japanese bro, we wish she could speak Japanese.
Yeah.
That's
Look
so-
more Japanese.
Yeah, that's a bit ego, no?
Yeah.
なんか Japanese still that's the very 遅いマインドセットなんて言うんだろう。
Like old-fashioned way of thinking.
Yeah. なんか
Like you can't just identify with it.
So,
you
so,
have
so.
to act and look the part.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's
And
very
also absorb, oh, you should be more Japanese みたいな。
Well,
Right,
because
right,
to them, right, there's a way. That way of Japanese is like a certain, like a certain, I don't know, certain method. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like a step by step. Okay, step 1, you do this as a Japanese.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You present stuff with 2 hands.
You have to use chopsticks very
Yeah.
beautifully.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to
And you
be able
eat
to speak
natto.
Keigo.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
Japanese have all these like criteria. That's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be considered Japanese. Right?
And we also
true.
be surprised if your Japanese is so good still, I guess.
Yeah.
When foreigners speaking super fluent
Yeah.
Japanese, we are like, wow, Japanese うまいですね
Yeah.
みたいな。
Well, it's just a very proud culture, right?
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
guys, if you meet a Japanese person who has fluent English, you are not like, wow, your English is great, right? わかる
Yeah, well,
I would. I mean, in a,
Sometimes I get
Yeah.
surprised because a lot of
Really?
people can't speak English.
Okay,
here.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a bit different, huh?
I mean, I get.
Not gonna lie.
But see, it's like you get surprised, but you're more like, oh, you definitely studied elsewhere.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I would say 95% of the Japanese people who can speak fluently have some kind of international experience.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. And I do, yeah, I think everybody says that to a certain extent. Because
Right.
I've had people, non-Japanese people in Japan, like maybe they're traveling here, and I'll talk to them, or maybe I'm working with them briefly, and they'll comment on my English, and they'll be like, wow, your English is so good. And I'm just like, thank you. I am a native English speaker. I was born and raised in Canada.
Yeah.
But so it always shows up where, you know, when your way of speaking doesn't match your face in a way.
I think
oh.
you know being mixed that happens a lot more anywhere you go, right? Because people can't really identify where you're from, really, and yeah, it's not just being in Japan. I think.
I think there's always an element of confusion
Yeah,
anywhere you go.
we're
Mixed
full of
culture.
surprises.
Yes, yes, that is the mixed experience.
Yes.
We're a mixed bag of surprises, essentially.
Well, 2 of my top videos actually are talking about like being half Japanese, or half, and like even though I'm not half.
I know, you act
But-
like you're just totally half.
No,
in this
because you know, for
video.
YouTube titles, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 3/4 Japanese,
Yeah,
right?
I understand.
But it was no. But the interesting part, right, is that you're technically not. I talked about in the video where you have a kind of like identity crisis.
yeah.
Where
All
basically,
the time.
right, like in
Yeah.
America, you're Asian. In
Yeah.
Japan, you're American, and
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, well, technically, I don't belong anywhere.
Yeah, I think
So, I
that's
mean-
cool.
But I'm just saying, like, because a lot of people think that halves always have a lot of like positives, like benefits. Like,
Right,
you know,
right,
Japanese people are like, oh my god, you have your babies are so going to be so cute, right?
Yeah.
But
They're
at the
gonna
same
be
time,
bilingual.
Yeah.
bilingual, right? They have like a kind of unique kind of physique,
Yeah.
right? Because they're like a mixture of 2 different types of people,
Exotic.
right?
Yes.
I get that a lot.
But
Yes,
at the
yeah.
same time, right? Like on the negative side, though, you always get like, oh, you don't really belong here.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh.
You
Yeah,
don't
it's
have
very
a
true.
solid community, right?
So I think only halves can really understand that negative side because they
Yeah.
personally experienced it.
Yeah.
Because people who are not halves just think we have all the positives that
Right,
come with
right,
it.
right,
You know?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone has a unique experience too. And some people who are mixed race don't even speak the language
Right.
of the other, like their other half.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
It's getting there.
No, it was there. Then it got worse.
yeah, it helps to move to the place. But some people, like I know some mixed race, like half Japanese people in Japan who look very foreign, but they've never lived anywhere other than Japan. And like maybe they'll look 100% like very African American. And then to Japanese people, they just look so foreign.
Yeah.
Like totally doesn't look Japanese, and they don't speak any English.
Yeah.
And I know that they really suffer for that too, because they're always being boxed into foreigner.
Right,
And like,
right.
why can't you speak English? Or like, oh, your Japanese is so good. And for them, it's like, obviously, I mean, I've never lived anywhere else.
Yeah.
Of course I speak Japanese. So there's a lot of like unseen struggles, I think, too, that come with it. And Naomi Osaka is probably in the middle of that too.
Yeah.
Like coming to Japan and having all of this discourse about, are you Japanese or not? Why don't you speak Japanese very well? And I don't know, it doesn't, maybe to a certain extent, it doesn't really matter. Or like in modern society, there's going to be more of people like us.
Right.
And maybe we shouldn't care so much like which country they decide to represent, like how Japanese you are or not. I mean, if you have dual citizenship, maybe you can just pick one.
Yeah.
Whichever one is more convenient. Like maybe you can do that. I don't think that should be such a big deal.
Gryffindor. That's me.
And even the sorting hat said you're allowed to choose in your own brain like which one you want more.
You're Slytherin.
Oh! No, I'm not Slytherin. I'm clearly a Hufflepuff.
You're Slytherin, huh? You're Slytherin. If people understood the real Shiori, Slytherin.
I think so too. I'm like
And she's Ravenclaw. You're the smart
You
one.
are Gryffindor でしょ
I'm Harry Potter.
No, you're not a Gryffindor. To put on your
yes.
glasses.
Oh,
Totally,
my Harry
totally.
Potter glasses. These are so tiny.
I think
Too
Naomi
funny.
Osaka, because Naomi Osaka, the super famous person,
Yeah.
being the half, then finally people noticed, oh, we have actually akogare, like a respect for the being half, and also, but also, we kind of jealous, わかる?
Ah,
Jealous. So,
はいはいはい、
なんか, I think only half people can feel those feelings. But now it became more bigger thing that we finally Japanese people realized that being international, being half is very huge deal.
Yeah.
Which we shouldn't think that way.
Right,
So
right,
it's
right.
quite emotional, interesting topic. So I think we can talk about more in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's plenty more to discuss
Yeah.
in terms of like being multicultural and
Yeah.
Yeah.
international, living in different places, being mixed race. So yeah, if there's anything else that you guys want to know too, let us know in the comments. But it was really interesting to hear like your side of things from
Yeah.
like a Japanese perspective too. And and it'll be exciting to see what Naomi Osaka does do and like how that influences history. Is she gonna stop being the first Japanese person who won the Grand Slam?
We'll see.
Who knows?
And let's talk about the personality with Harry Potter next time too.
Okay. Yes, we'll see
We'll
how
do
much
that.
our personalities.
Different prefecture.
おー、あー面白そう。
We'll put a house on each prefecture. That'll be interesting. I
That
don't know
would
how
be.
we'll do that, but we'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks so much for joining us today, you guys. Thanks for coming back and bringing a lot of Harry Potter references.
ね。ね。
See you guys in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.